Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Jerry. And we are the Military Collectibles Shop. Welcome to yet another edition of What's New at the Military Collectibles Shop. Not an overly busy week for us, but we did get some stuff in some cases some pretty cool stuff, in some cases some mediocre stuff, and in some cases some kind of boring stuff. So we won't saddle you with the boring stuff, we'll just show you the mediocre and cool stuff, at least in our approximations.
Okay. All
Alright, where do you want to start?
I see you got a pair of World War II jump boots.
Yeah, those are nice. World War II U.S. Army paratrooper boots. Couple thing about the paratrooper boots, they have the slanted heel so that it wouldn't get caught up in any of their static lines should they be going inverted or anything bad happens in the air. These are actually really early dated. These are 42 dated, so these are kind of early. They're a smaller size, being a 5, which is, I don't think I was ever a size 5, but still, you know, they're great for display. You know, again, tough to find in any condition, so very, very cool to find.
Oh, those are really cool. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we have a baseball glove. U.S. 1945.
But does it work? That's the question. Apparently not. But these are cool. You know, a lot of times people forget, you know, when you got a bunch of soldiers sitting around doing nothing, when they're not fighting, they got to be doing something. So they, the Office of Service Supply provided the guys with all kinds of recreational materials. Bats, gloves, balls. I've actually got some Navy horseshoes that you might remember from an earlier episode.
We had a couple of baseball bats too.
Yeah, the baseball bats. Because again, you wanted to get the guys involved in physical activity. You know, keep them from killing each other and all that kind of stuff. So it's always great when you because the stuff's usually U.S. marked. Now, that being said, you also have to be careful because there are reproductions of this stuff. People take old bats and they mark them with the U.S. I just saw some baseballs where somebody selling some fake ones on eBay where they marked them with the U.S.'s. So if that's an area that you're interested in, you got to do your homework, you know, before you delve in. But it is a neat kind of subcategory, kind of a crossover collectible, you know, connecting the sports world with the military world.
Cool. Do you have anything?
This is kind of cool. It's a tin type, a Civil War tin type of a unfortunately unknown soldier, kind of a younger looking guy. He was purported to be Confederate, but everybody selling them always says they're Confederate. And while we have had a couple Confederate ones, this guy I don't believe is. But a nice, this would be a 1/16 of a plate, I believe. They measure the tin types because a full plate tin type was almost the size of a sheet of paper, roughly. And then they would have like quarter plate ones, which would be the size of a quarter of that. And then these are, I believe, the next size down. And then there's really teeny tiny ones that I think are really small.
For when they broke the plate?
Right. Well, they're actually made out of tin. Hence the tin type. So the bigger ones are actually rarer to find. Now these were great because they were small. People could carry them on them, which sometimes they did. You know, they could send them home. Very popular size. This one and the next size above it is probably the two most commonly encountered sizes of tin types. But great piece of early Americana, early Civil War photography.
Excellent. Oh, looks like we have ourselves a U.S. Navy Mark I machete. Ooh. Made in Sheffield, England.
God save the king. It's a nice looking machete.
Yeah. I like the brown color of the metal. But
Oxidation.
yes, that's it.
We don't do rust. It's oxidation.
This
Oxidized patina.
interesting.
Yeah, the scabbard looks a little homemade.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure what it would have been from, being a Mark 1. Marked. But a neat piece nonetheless.
Maybe it was just something longer and they shortened it down.
Like a barrel cover or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
A longer machete? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, why have a machete when you can have a pillow? But this one's kind of cool because it's for the Marine Corps from Camp Pendleton, California. So, you know,
What does it say, Jerry?
Camp Pendleton, California.
Okay, good enough.
Sooner or later, you know, these are going to be widely collected. You know, somebody will come out with a book of them. So invest now, buy these all up, so we don't have to store them.
And this is a rare one because it's got.
It's actually made into a pillow. Yeah, this
Yeah.
most of the time you don't see them actually pillow-fied.
Yeah, most of them are like they were folded like originally.
Yeah, sent home, and
Never
that's
unfurled.
where they ended up.
Ooh, look at this.
Wow,
It is.
is that for stabbing around corners?
Could be.
Or the self-circumcision kit?
I think you could put your eye out like buttering some toast with this. What is this? Black rhinoceros handle?
Tatanka.
Oh, buffalo.
I don't know.
But it's a pretty cool looking knife.
Yeah, it seems to be Arabic of some type. It does seem to have some Arabic writing on it. Missing the scabbard. But an older knife brought back from World War II. Interestingly, by the same guy who brought the machete back.
Wow.
So he obviously liked knives.
Surprised he didn't got that scabbard for this.
Right.
That's cool.
Speaking of knives,
It's in really minty condition.
minty. Yeah, this is one of those that you so wish was real.
It's not?
Well,
Ouch.
this is the
Wow.
1849. I don't know.
I think it's written on
It is written on there. It's stamped 1849. But this is like one of the first fighting knives that were actually issued to the armed forces. But this one is a reproduction, unfortunately. It's a very well-made reproduction. But the originals sell for like $10,000. They're very rare. But this is a nicely marked, nicely well-made one with the frog. You know, so it'd be great for for an early American reenactor or someone who just needs to cut a pizza. Feel that. It's a hefty blade.
Wow.
It's not a chintzy blade.
Cool.
Yeah, neat piece.
Oh. Look. It's a Swiss hat.
Ooh.
It's like a Swiss, M43 hat, but I'm sure the Swiss had these long before 1943.
I'm calling it a Swiss Gebirgsjäger hat because in Switzerland everybody's a Gebirgsjäger.
For sure. The only thing that's wrong with this thing is it's a size 56.
It'll fit Dave.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it would. But otherwise, it's
Our friend
pretty
Dave
cool,
has a
huh?
very tapered head, so everything fits.
It's cool.
Speaking of hats, This is, and I was going to look it up in the book, but I thought, why bother doing your research? We haven't started yet. Why now? In my mind, this is like a 1930s U.S. Army like winter hat thing. You know that they cold weather,
intermediate cold weather.
Oh, I like that. That sounds official. You know, but a nice, you know, hate to use the Elmer Fudd terminology, but you know, yeah, that hat, whichever one that one is, and just nice condition. You know, it's got the snaps. It's got the little.
It's pretty cool.
You can button this up so you can cover your mouth, which is kind of nice.
In case you talk too much.
When they say, "Hey, button it up," that's what they're talking about.
Oh, I see. We have a Hitler Youth knife. Early one, maker mark, no RZM marking on it. With the model.
It's not RZM marked?
No.
Sacre bleu.
Wow.
Cool. That's even earlier than I thought. So I think they did away with the motto in 1936. And I know there was a transition period, you know, when they would have them both maker marked and RZM marked. Probably in that same year.
And it's nice the blade hasn't been thrown into trees, and the handle isn't cracked.
Ground off.
Usually, like, they chop things with these, and there's little dents in the blades. You know, it's like, what were they issued to kids?
Yep. There's still a tip of one of my knives stuck in the floor over at St. Aloysius Grade School. All right.
What'd you get there, Jared?
A little something. Yeah, this is just freaking awesome. This is a group, oh, why don't you hold it up, of World War I German aviation stuff. And so not only did we get all the medals, which includes things like the Hohenzollern Knight's Cross and the Saxony Knight's Cross and his Bavarian Observer Badge and a Bavarian Retired Pilot's Badge and a Prinzen size, the smaller Prinzen size Observer Badge. We actually got all the documents that he was also awarded with all these medals. I'll come back to this one. You know, but this is for, I don't know what it's for. But this is, I can't read, I can barely read the German, and then to try to read it upside down, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, this one is for the Observer Badge. That I can read. Beobachtensofficer und Flugzeugen. And this is for his Retired Pilot's Badge, which he was awarded in 1919, which I thought was interesting. The Observer Badge he got in 1915. The Retired Pilot he got in 1919. Iron Cross, first class, Iron Cross, second class. I was gonna look and see if he got them on the same day. I don't think so. I think they're different. Yeah, you got the second class in 1914. You got the first class in 1915. Because you had to have one before you got the other. Some kind of something. Again, another Bavarian thing. This is cool. Whatever it is, something from Munich.
Wow, that is cool.
Things. That's the church in Munich. Another, some kind of something. The Cross der Ritter. So it's the Knight's Cross. I think this is the one from Saxony. Or that might be the... Yeah, it's the one from Saxony, because it's the... yeah, it's with swords. Mit Schwerten. And what's neat too about this whole group is he also had the little miniatures, his little that he could be worn in the formal dress as well as their civilian outfits. So again, more documents, which is just unbelievable. And this document is really kind of neat. This is one of the free core units. I believe this is the Brigade. No, I was going to say Brigade Earhart, but it's not that one. It's one of the other Freikorps units that they wore that. And these guys were eventually absorbed into the SS. So that's kind of cool. And then we also got a picture of him and his plane, which is very cool. That he actually sent the postcard home to his Frauen in Munich. So just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, any one of these badges, medals, you know, well, other than the common ones, but they're really rare. You know, you just don't find them. But to find a group of flight badges, and then find a group of flight badges to a guy that you know who they belong to, you know, and then to have the documents, it's unheard of.
So did this guy do anything after the war?
Yes, he came to Milwaukee. And what's Milwaukee famous for? Beer. And he ended up working at the Pabst Brewery here in Milwaukee, and was responsible for, and I'm still trying to work out with a Pabst historian how responsible, but the family lore that we got from the family was that he was actually responsible for creating Ondecker beer, which actually just was like reissued.
Oh, really?
Not all that long ago. Because apparently all the hipsters are drinking Pabst.
Ooh.
So, but Ondecker was a more Bavarian style beer. So that was very cool. You know, thankfully, you know, that we were able to negotiate this with the guy. He actually came back 3 times with it. You know, before we could get our ducks in a row. And then we also did some more research, and we were able to have our researcher delve into more. And the guy actually ended up going back to Germany in, I think, he left Germany in 31, came back in 39, because he tapped some beer thing. He was doing something there, drinking beer. But then he came back and lived in Milwaukee. You know, lived out a good life. We also did get some of his World War I German aviation postings. So I got to see if my friend Paul can decipher this. So, what's it say, Paul? All right.
So that was really awesome. I was here when it first came in, and you know, when you first see those things, it was like, I was thinking, how many of these are real? And then you start looking them over, and I was like, wow, they all are real. And it was like, I was really glad we got that.
Yeah, that's the kind of grouping that just doesn't turn up. So I'll have to get a nice case to put it all in. So overall, a pretty good week.
Here's a case.
Pillowcase. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for now. So as always, thanks for joining us. If you've stuck around long enough to get to the end, remember to send us any questions that you might have. We are compiling a list of questions for another question and answer video. And we got a couple more videos in the pipeline, so we'll be working on those as time permits. But I don't know. Happy collecting. We hope you guys are finding a bunch of stuff too. We hope you're getting settled for the holidays. Soon they will be upon us, so that's great. But we'll see you again before then.
And remember, after you're done buying Christmas presents for everybody else, there's you. You need to buy good stuff for you. And you deserve it.
You deserve it. Military collectible gift certificates are always available and make great stocking stuffers. All right. Until next time, I'm
Jerry.
Go ahead.
I'm Mark.
Oh. I'm Jerry. Now, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Mark.
And we are the Military Collectibles Shop.